Okay, Dawson, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Anthony?
Not too bad. So, for those that are listening, it's kind of interesting how I met Dawson. So, we are both currently in Mexico City right now, and just kind of been putting my head down, working out of the WeWorks. And two people I consistently see working from morning to night, and then also the weekends here at the WeWork is Dawson and his co-founder Ethan. Um, but I guess where we can start is Ethan, or Dawson. Could you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm the co-founder of a company called Martin. Martin is an AI personal assistant like Jarvis. You can text, call, or email Martin, and he basically manages your calendar, your inbox, your Slack, your reminders and to-dos, and you can also text and call other people on your behalf. And over time, he gets to know you and really helps out proactively like a true personal AI.
Interesting. And when did you get started with this?
We launched the first version a little over a year ago.
About a year ago.
Mhm.
Okay. And what brought up the idea to start a product like that?
It's sort of just like a childhood dream of having our own Jarvis. We did Y Combinator, which is an accelerator in Silicon Valley, and most of the other founders in the batch had like a lot of industry knowledge and like some like experience in certain fields that they wanted to do their business in, and we were sort of just college freshmen and didn't really have any sort of industry expertise. So we just picked the idea that was like most consumer and most fun sounding and ambitious, and we just went for like building our childhood dream with Jarvis.
Gotcha. So you guys are fans of Iron Man,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
guessing?
I think any guy like our age, our generation would have watched Iron Man growing up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely love that the series. And I guess for some people that don't know about Y Combinator, maybe people that aren't in the tech scene, what is Y Combinator?
The Y Combinator is a 3 month accelerator. They fund you. They're basically your first investor, and they give you a great community and mentors. And once you finish Y Combinator, you usually raise like a seed round.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that like in summer of 2023.
Summer of 2023.
Mhm.
Gotcha. So you guys have been around for almost 2 years now?
Yeah, yeah. We launched the first version of Martin, I think, fall of 2023.
Okay. Got it. And what did you do before that? And how old are you, first of all?
I just turned 21, so Ethan just turned 20. We were both in college studying
Okay.
CS before this. He was at Berkeley and I was at Yale.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong. So you both started going to university, studying, and eventually you guys decided to drop out and pursue this full time.
Yeah, yeah. We
Okay.
both spent 1 year at college.
Okay. So tell us about how you even got started with coming up with products and uh, did you learn coding from a young age?
Yeah, so I grew up in Mountain View, and I grew up building apps like on the App Store. Like the first app I built was a Wheel of Fortune game. That was in seventh grade. So I've been coding for a while. I think the first real products or like services I tried to sell were in college.
Mm-hmm.
So I had two startup like projects. One was called Campus Guide,
Campus
basically like
Guide.
Airbnb for college tours. So
Airbnb for
college
college
tours.
tours. Okay, so
So you
tell me
go on our
how that
website
works
and you could book like a personalized tour with a current student,
with the current student.
and it's $45 per hour, and we pay our guides like $30.
Okay, got it.
So I
So
recruited most of my high school friends who are now at different colleges, and maybe like 30 or 40 of them, and we just started giving tours.
wow.
So that was the
Okay.
first time I like launched a business, I think, and it was really helpful. I actually think if you're a college student trying to start a startup, the most important thing you could do in college is build like a local business with software. Like it
Hmm,
teaches you how to launch an MVP, like a minimum viable product, and also how to get your first customers. And that was really useful for me.
got it. Yeah, and I think that's an interesting conversation too, because I think nowadays people see university in some industries. It's important to get the degree and get your certifications, for example, in law or in the medical field.
Uh,
Um, but in business and other majors, it seems like a lot of people do a lot of studying and work outside of university. and maybe through extracurriculars, then they find that it's not as important to finish your degree. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think college, the main opportunity it gives you is it has a ton of people your age in the same space, so you can make friends really rapidly.
Uh-huh.
And if you want to do a startup, you can also like sell to your friends, and they can be your first customers. It's just a fun and like it's a fun time. Mainly, you should go to college to have fun. I think if you're interested in entrepreneurship, uh,
Hmm.
you're not going to learn that much about startups.
I mean, just speaking to you at in your early 20s, already uh, being a funded company through Y Combinator, that's impressive to many people. But it seems like your work started even before that. So I guess what kind of I'm trying to dig into your brain on what drives you to kind of go outside of the box and kind of do your own thing.
Hmm. Um, I think one is like during college when I saw like most of my friends picking a career path, I seemed to just not gravitate towards any of those, and I also didn't like my classes. I
Hmm.
was really bad as a student, but I was especially good at and enjoyed like my side projects, like my
Mm.
campus guide. And I did this other thing called Flick, which was like a social media app where you can every morning you get assigned a friend near you, and you have to go take a photo with that friend in the next
Mm.
24 hours. Like those projects, I was especially good at like recruiting people to work on those with me and like launching those products, and I really loved it. I spent more time on those than my classes for sure. And so when I got the opportunity to do this full time, it was like a no brainer for me. And
Gotcha.
I think growing up, I also knew that I wanted to do a startup eventually. Growing up in Silicon Valley definitely contributed to that. But I think my plan was to like finish college and then probably work at some startups and then eventually do it on my own. And being funded as a freshman just gave me like a front of the line ticket, and like there's no way I wouldn't take it.
Got it. Okay, so let's talk a bit more about your current company. Tell us more about that and where you guys are at your current stage and maybe where you guys are planning to be maybe 2 years, 3 years down from now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Martin is live on the App Store and on the web. You can go to trymartin.com and try it for free. So we just hit our first 10,000 users. 10,000 people have tried it, and we're iterating really fast with those people. We release new updates almost every week, and uh, I think the next phase of Martin is really getting this product to be super mature. We have this saying that there's going to be three phases in our early product development.
3 phases.
Uh, I think phase one we've gotten on a pretty good lockdown. It's like having Martin follow direct orders reliably.
Okay.
And these are like one step or two-step orders. Like, can you draft this email or can you reply to these five people for me?
Okay.
And then he'll execute those pretty reliably, and you can monitor it, you can edit it. And phase two will be background tasks. So following continuous and complex orders in the background. This would be like whenever I receive an email over the next 2 weeks from let's say customers who I reached out to, I want you to ask them for a demo and then book it on my calendar. It'd be a continuous task. It
Gotcha.
requires a lot more judgment, and there's a lot of edge cases you have to cover. So we're working on that, and we hope we can get it out in the next like month or so.
Next month. So
Um,
that's stage two.
yeah, and the last stage, hopefully around the summertime, is like proactively inferring orders. So without me even have to without me giving you any instructions, you would just like, ping me someday and be like, uh, I know you're trying to get in touch with this investor. Turns out you guys have a mutual connection that just showed up. I just drafted an email to him. Do you want me to like connect you guys? And you start doing things on his own accord.
Interesting. So the first stage is you're giving direct orders. Second stage, it's being more reactive and independent on its own. And then the third is they're at a point where it's proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And hopefully at that point, um, like we also have a ton of integrations and apps that Martin can use, and we think AI is at a point where it's so close to fully using the web and fully like uh, handling tasks without that much granular instruction. That
Hmm.
if we can get to phase three, when that happens, when that technology becomes available, like we'll be in a really good spot to capture all the value.
Gotcha. And when do you predict stage three will be?
I think it'll be pretty soon, like in the next 6 months or so.
6 months or so. Now, there's been a lot of news about DeepSeek and other news about AI. How do you think? Where do you think the AI industry is going in, let's say, the next 5, 10 years?
Um, well, it'll be a lot easier to build on AI. It'll be cheaper and faster, which is great for us. That's like the most obvious signal. And then I think web automation and computer use is the next big category.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's already like been proven by several companies that like the foundation is there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think it'll just take a few more months to get really reliable, and then at that point, uh, it'll really unlock some big use cases for assistants like Martin.
Gotcha. So good timing with what you guys are doing right now.
Yeah, honestly, I think we couldn't be earlier and we couldn't be later. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is the exact time that we have to be starting Martin.
Mm-hmm. Now, as one of the founders of this company, I'm assuming at this stage you're wearing a lot of different hats. What kind of things are you doing day to day? What does a typical day look like for you?
Yeah, just like basically everything that is done at the company is either me or my co-founder. So let's see, what's like what's something unexpected. I mean, yeah, we do like every piece of software that the user touches, from like the landing page or like before the landing page, like any advertisement you see, and then any landing page that like the whole flow into onboarding into Martin and then using Martin. Like we built and optimized every stage of this,
Mm-hmm.
every stage of that funnel. So right now it is really like you're doing a different job every month. Like last month I was working on like search engine optimization stuff. Like this month we're working on some videos. So yeah, it's really fun though. I think it's a special type of job being a founder, and certain people are really good at it, and certain people probably wouldn't enjoy it as much.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's something for people looking from the outside in? Because I assume there's a lot of things that are very difficult about your role. Um, what are some things that people don't see that you have to kind of go through and kind of push through as a founder?
Um, I think it is that like you have to learn a new skill every month, and I feel like nowadays there are a lot of founders who avoid this. They can raise money so easily, like
Mm-hmm.
so early, that they just go out and hire people to do their website or to do their Facebook acquisition or whatever. But I think the right way to do it is the founders should get every component of their company from 0 to 1, and that's what we try to do. That's I don't know if that's the most challenging thing. There are definitely more challenging aspects of being a founder, but that's like a unique thing that maybe a lot of people wouldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Now, why do you say that?
um, I think it's kind of a stereotype that you should raise money and then use the money to hire people to do everything for you, and you should
Mm-hmm.
make yourself like obsolete as quickly as possible. I think there's some truth to that later on. Like once you found product market fit and you're growing, and you're at like a growth stage, then you should do that. But in the early stage, definitely not.
Mm. So you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, getting a good understanding of all these different functions of the company at this stage. That then later on, when you guys are larger, you have a good understanding of how to hire the right people because you understand
Mm-hmm.
these different elements from marketing, from product, from dev.
Yeah, and you have so much context as a founder in the early days. If you want to make a great, um, I don't know, like let's just say a great ad, like even if you hire someone, they probably can't do as good of a job as you because you have so much context. You know the entire product, you know your onboarding flow, you know your customer feedback. Uh, so you can, and you care so much about it, right? Like you can really produce the best
Mm-hmm.
quality work in any domain.
Mm, got it. At this point, what are you most proud of from what you've achieved?
Um, I don't have that. I don't know if I have that much to be proud of yet, but it's still pretty early on. Um,
Work in progress.
yeah, I am pretty uh, like I'm very glad that I got the opportunity to drop out. Like when I finished freshman year of college, I came back home when I saw my parents, I was just like repeating to them that I really want to drop out. I want to drop out. I want to drop out. I can't imagine doing like 3 more years of CSP sets.
And how did they respond?
And they were just like, they weren't discouraging of it at all. They were just like, there's a low chance that that'll happen, that you'll have an opportunity to do that. So you should be happy with going into industry and starting your startup when you're like 30. Like that's totally normal, and you'll still have a great life.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I was able to drop out, like I'm so grateful for that. Like especially given this timing and like looking back on the past year, like there's nothing else I'd rather be doing now.
Mm. Now, kind of moving to a different topic, what do you do for fun outside of work?
I used to play a lot of ping pong. Like in college, I was on my like the Yale table tennis club. I wasn't actually on the travel team. I wasn't that good, but I would learn from all the travel players.
Okay.
So I did that
You played with
probably
them?
multiple times a week. Yeah, and then I also this has been a while, but during when I was at college, I had a lot of hobbies. Now not so much, but back
Okay.
then, like I used to skateboard a lot too, and I played chess.
Okay. And now I'm guessing it's just work, work, work.
Yeah, once in a while, like Ethan and I will play a game of chess or something.
Okay. That's
But
your break.
but like uh, generally, like I think we work and we look forward to like eating tacos,
Yeah.
and the fact that we're in Mexico helps for sure.
Yes. Tell the audience about your Mexico experience so far.
Yeah, it's been great. I think being like a digital nomad as a founder is a great idea. It's like a win-win-win. It's cheaper, it's more productive because you have no social life, like no one to distract you,
Yeah.
and
None of
it's
your friends back home asking you to go out and do
no,
this.
yeah. Those typically you have to find some excuse, but here you're just like I'm out of town. And then thirdly, it's actually a little bit more fun. Just because you get to see a new country and um, try new foods. So we're gonna keep doing this as long as we're two people.
Mm. And where else have you been
We
outside of
were in
Mexico?
Peru and Malaysia before that.
Okay. How was your experiences there?
Great, yeah, fantastic. I would recommend all three places, like Peru, Malaysia, and Mexico. I think we'll go back to Southeast Asia later this year.
Okay. And your next spot?
We're going to Colombia for a month, like next week, starting next week. So yeah, looking forward to that too.
I'm assuming you guys will be living out of the WeWork around there as well.
Pretty much the same thing at every stop. Like we book an Airbnb, we found a WeWork super close by,
Hmm.
and we just spend every
Ideally,
day there.
24 hours open.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I see. Yeah, I know some people listening in the audience. Maybe they work a job where it requires them to be in the States. I guess I don't know if this is the right question for you, but what would you suggest for people that are looking to kind of start a digital nomad kind of lifestyle where they were either working at a company and or they have their own thing and being able to do that from somewhere outside of the states?
Hmm. I don't have much insight into if you're working for another company because I'm guessing their policies maybe I don't know. But if you're doing a startup, it totally makes sense. We're saving like I think uh, if we live in Mexico for 2 weeks, we spend roughly the same amount of money as like 3 days in the States or like 3 days in San Francisco.
Gotcha.
So it just makes
It's
sense
keeping
in a
the
lot of
operating
points.
costs low.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Got it. Okay. And I guess this is a good place to close. But if you had one piece of advice for someone trying to find their passion, motivation, advancing in their career, whatever the case may be, what would that be from you?
Mm, I'd say like have a bias towards action. If you have some idea, you should just start trying it. If you're an engineer, you should just code it and launch it. If you're not technical, like talk to your technical friends and or just learn to code. Like it's really not that hard to learn to code these days, and people make all sorts of excuses for not wanting to start. But there really is no excuse. Like if you have a computer and access to the internet, like you can really do anything you want in the tech world. Um, when Ethan and I met, like literally the next day we started coding uh, because we had this idea and we wanted to pursue it. So I think having a bias towards action and finding people who share that trait is really important.
Your bias for action. I love that. Well, Ethan, I mean Dawson, I'm so sorry. I talk with them so much, it's easy to mix up.
Okay.
Dawson, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right.